Software development life cycle. Software development life cycle SDLC for short as well defined structure sequence of the stage in the software engineering to develop the intended software product. Software development life cycle activities provide a series of steps to be followed to design and develop the software product efficiently. SDLS framework include the following steps: communication, requirement gathering, feasibility study, system analysis, software design, coding, testing, integration, implementation, operation and maintenance, then disposition. Now I am repeating again: software as a development life cycle include communication, requirement gathering, feasibility study, system analysis, software design, coding, testing, integration, implementation, operation and maintenance, and disposition. Communication: this is the first step where the user initiates the request for a desired software product. He contacts the service provider and tries to negotiate the terms. Then he submits his request to the service provider organization in writing. Requirement gathering: the step onward the software development team work to carry on the project. The team hold discussion with various stakeholders from the problems domain and tries to bring out the much information as possible on their requirement. The requirement are the contemplated and segregated into user requirement, system required and functional requirement. The requirement are collected using a number of the practice as given. First of all, requirement gathering, then system analysis, then coding, then after that testing, implementation, then operation and maintenance of the software. Studying the existing to obstacle system and software, conducting interview of user and developers, referring to the database or collecting answers from the questionnaires. Feasibility study: after requirement gathering, the team come up with a rough plan of software process. At this step, the team analyze of the software can be made to fulfill all requirement of the user, and if there is any possibilities of software being no more useful, it is found out. It's a project is financially, practically and technologically feasible for the organization to take up. There are the many algorithm available, so which help the developer to conclude the feasibility of software project. System analysis: at the step the developer decide a roadmap of their plan and try to bring up the best software model suitable for the project. System analysis include understanding of software product limitation, learning system related problem or changes to be done in the existing system beforehand, identifying and addressing the impact of the project on organization and personal. The project team analyze the scope of the project and plans the schedule and resources according software design. Next step is to bring down whole knowledge for requirement and analysis on the desk and design the software product. The input from users and information gathered in requirement gathering phase are the input of this step. The output of the system come on the form of the two design: logical design and physical design. Engineers produce metadata and data dictionaries, logical diagrams, data flow diagrams, and in some cases pseudo codes. Coding: this step is known as a programming phase. The implementation of software design start in term of writing program code in the suitable programming language and developing error free executable program efficiently. Testing: and estimates say that 50% of whole software development process should be tested. Error may ruin the software from critical level to its own removal. Software testing is done while coding by the developers, and Through testing is conducted by testing expert at various level of the code such as module testing, program testing, product testing, in-house testing, and testing the product user in early discovery of error and their remedy is key reliable softwares. Now first of all they do testing, coding, testing, coding, testing, coding, verifying and designing. Integration software may need to be integrated with the libraries, database, and other programs. This stage of SDLC is involved to integration of software with outer world in entities implementation. This means installing the software on a user machine. At times, software need post installation configuration at user in. Software is tested for the portability and adaptability, and integration related issues are solved during the implementation, operation, and maintenance. This phase confirms that the software operation in terms of more efficiency and less error. If required, the user are trained on the added to documentation on how to operate this software and how to keep the software operational. The software is maintained timely by the updating the code according to the change taking place in user and the environment or technology. This phase may be face challenges from the hidden bug and real world undefined problems. Disposition as their illipage, the software may decline the performance front if may be completely always still the need instant upgradation. Hence, the pressing need to eliminate a major portion of the system arises. This phase include achieving data and required software component, closing down the system, planning disposition activity, and determining system and appropriate and the system time. Software development paradigm, the software development paradigm help a developer to select a strategy to develop the software. A software development paradigm has its own uh, set of tool, method, and procedure which is expressed clearly and defines softwares to development life cycle. A few software development paradigm as process models are defined as follows. Waterfall model. Waterfall model is the simplest model of software development paradigm. It helps the phase of SDLC will function one after another. Assume that everything is carried out but taken place perfectly as planned in the previous stage. There is a two need. There is a two need there is a two need for the some of the issues left on the previous step. The sequential nature model does not allow us to go back and undo and redo our action. This model is best suited when developer already have designed and developed similar software in the past and are aware of the all domains. It literally this model is a I lead the software development process in iteration and this is simple becoming it's a project the process and development of cyclic manner, repeating every step after every cycle of the software development life cycle process. Interacting model, the software is the first developed on very small scale and all the steps are followed which is taken into the consideration. Then on every next iteration more feature and modules are designed, coded, tested, and added to the software. Every cycle produce software which is complete in itself and has more feature and capabilities than that the previous one. After each iteration, this management team can do work on the risk management and prepare for the next iteration. Because the cycle include a small portion of whole software process, it is easier to manage the deployment process, but it consume more resources per model, such as a progress, then alternate evolution, then prototype design, then code integration, testing, implementation, release, next phase planning, review, objective identification. A spiral model is a combination of both iterative model and one of the SDLC model. It can be seen as if you choose one SDLC model and combine it with cyclic process, iterative model, spiral model. This model considers a risk which often goes on not noticed by most other model. This model start with determining objective and constraint of the software at the start of the one iteration. Next phase is prototype and software. This include risk analysis. Then one standard SDLC model is used to build the software. In the fourth phase of the plan, the next iteration, the preferred we model. The major drawback of a waterfall model is we move to next stage only when the previous one is finished and there was no chance to go back in something is found wrong at later stage. B model provide means to testing the software at each state in reverse manner. B model